Hello guys, how are you? Today is the 6th of April 2020. It is a Monday, start of a new week. Except it doesn't feel any different to yesterday or the day before or the day before that. Yeah. Such a weird time we're all living in. Today's been quite a decent day. Not done much, to be fair. Watched some videos. My mom cooked my favourite meal, which was really lovely of her. Chicken and rice, Iranian chicken and rice. She does a great job of it. Like, I love it. It tastes phenomenal when she cooks it, and I'm trying to learn from her. I know that I won't be able to cook it as well as her for a while, but maybe by the end of the self-isolation I will be able to at least do it half decently. So that was good. That was my one meal of the day. A couple of hours ago it was announced that Boris Johnson has had to go to intensive care. I think his conditions have maybe worsened a little bit. They're saying in the news that it's just like as a precautionary thing, like as in like I don't know if they're trying to not worry the world and the UK. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't particularly care about Boris Johnson, you know, like he's not somebody that I think is a great man. I don't think he's a great leader. I don't really like his policies. I just don't like the guy, you know, from what I know of him. But obviously I don't like to see anyone in pain either. Like, I don't want the guy to die, you know. I don't want him to have to suffer. Like, I don't wish pain or death upon anyone, genuinely. So it's sad. It is sad that he's obviously not in a good condition, but hopefully he will recover from this. And I just think it's funny that, again, people are taking it to the extremes. Like, a lot of people are like, oh my god, pray for like Boris Johnson. You know, he's just one of many people who has had the virus in the past few months, and so many people have died, and Boris will, rest assured, get the best treatment possible compared to a lot of people who probably won't, you know, and not just in this country and or like loads of other countries. So like, Boris is still lucky compared to many others. Again, I'm not saying I want the guy to suffer, and I really hope he does recover, but I just find it hilarious when people like go all crazy just because it's, I don't know, it's the Prime Minister. Anyway, so that was the news of today. Last night, Lord have all the mercy. So I used to volunteer with a child through a charity a few years ago I want to say, and I did it for about a year and a half. I think I stopped around a year ago, roughly. Anyway, so I knew this child for about a year and a half, and I saw them once a week at least for 2 hours every week. And I would help them in different ways, you know. It was like kind of like a befriending / mentoring situation, where I was like, basically I was just kind of there for them for those 2 hours, and we could do more or less anything. I tried to kind of build some structure into their lives and help them as much as I could, but sometimes I would literally just go and see them and we would just play games. Anyway, obviously I hadn't seen this person, this child, in a while, since I stopped volunteering with them, because the charity encourages you to kind of, once you've stopped the program, and obviously I only stopped because they said that I've done enough, because normally they do it for like a year, and I did it for a year and a half, only because I felt like they might have needed it more, and the charity was okay with it. They were like, you can stay for another like 6 months, and they gradually kind of decreased my visits until eventually they were like, you should end it now, because they need to be able to survive without you as well. We don't want them to kind of become too reliant on you, the child and the family. In my case, it was a child and a mum. So anyway, I don't want to get too much into it because it's very private, you know. It's not something that I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about them or anything specific about them. What I do want to say is that obviously in this weird situation that we're in, I've been thinking about this child a little bit in the past few days, especially. They just came into my mind, and I was like, I really wonder how they're doing, because you know, I spent a while with them, and I knew them, and I knew their mum, and I don't know, I just started to worry a little bit about them. So I decided to text their mum, just to see how they're doing. I was like, how are you doing, blah blah blah, hope the child is doing okay. And then they said that basically we ended up having a conversation on Snapchat, because they were like, the child would love to speak to you if that's okay. And then I went on Snapchat, which is kind of the method that the child uses, because the child is, I keep saying the child, I don't want to give anything away. That's why I'm saying the child. I don't want to say anything about them apart from the fact that they're a child. yeah, they had, you know, they're young. I think they're 10. They might have turned 11 by now, actually. But yeah, so Snapchat was the easiest way. So I had a little chat with them last night. Not sure if I should have done it or not. Like I said, normally the charity encourages you to kind of not stay in contact too much with the family that you volunteered with after you leave. They say it's up to you, but they kind of say don't do it too much, or, you know, just try not to stay in their lives too much, because you want them to kind of learn to do it without you, kind of thing. But I thought, like, you know, it's been a year kind of thing, and the circumstances that we're in are very weird and unique, so I thought it was absolutely fine to have this little chat with the child. And it made me feel so nice. Like, it was just great to hear from them that they're doing okay. They said they've been watching some of my YouTube videos, which I felt really embarrassed about. I was like, oh no, like, they're very cringy, aren't they? And they were like, no, they're actually alright, you know, they're good. And to be fair, that meant a lot to me, because, you know, children, especially the child I volunteered with, they weren't very, like, openly, they just weren't very open at giving compliments. They were very cheeky, they would joke a lot, and it just meant a lot. Like, I felt like a compliment from a child just is very genuine, and so it was just very nice. And I'm just glad that you know, they're doing okay. So it was a lovely little highlight. It just happened at, like, late at night last night. Maybe 1 o'clock, I want to say. I'm not really sure why the child was up, but this is how it is. Yeah, what else do I have to say? I think that's more or less it. I have a potential FaceTime chat with my friend Eddie, either tonight or tomorrow at some point. He wanted to have a catch up, and I said sure, you know, because that's the only way we can catch up now. And I joked with him, I was like, it's not like I've got anything to catch you up on, because I haven't really done much, but it'd be nice to see you. So that might happen at one point tonight. Like I said, it's quite late. I woke up late. My sleeping pattern is an absolute mess, guys. It really, really is. It's nearly 11 right now, 11 p.m. I hate the fact that my sleeping pattern is like this, and I don't know how to get myself out of it. But again, I'm trying to also be kind to myself. I'm trying to not feel guilty about things. But it's really hard not to feel guilty about, like, just sleeping at random times. Like, last night, I stayed up all night. Literally. I didn't go to sleep until about, I want to say 11 a.m. this morning. I slept at 11 a.m, put my alarm for 1 o'clock, because I was like, okay, I'm going to sleep for 2 hours, and hopefully, because 2 hours isn't enough, then I'll be tired enough tonight to sleep at a normal time. But I must have just kind of either slept through the alarm or, like, snoozed it, because I didn't end up actually waking up until 4. So how many hours is that? From 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. I slept 5 hours. I got 5 hours of sleep. But yeah, it's just weird. I hate it. And I'm not the only person. Like, last night at like 5 a.m, my friend Frankie texted me, and I was like, wow, she's up as well. So I think a lot of people are struggling with, like, sleep. I hate it though, like I said, because it's something that I'd struggled with before, and I had just started to become better at it, and it's just gone crazy again. I'm sure it's the thing that I'll, you know, I can manage again once things become more normal. Really been enjoying Diz Unplugged. I think they've been, like, my main comfort. They're a channel, a bunch of American guys who talk about Disney World mainly, and they're very, like, what's the word I'm looking for, very consistent with their content even during this time. And they just obviously seem to really care about Disney, and they know a lot about it, so it's just interesting. It's just fun to watch their, like, long videos and stuff, and kind of see what they think about Disney and stuff. I had some chats with my friend Rakai this morning as well, just through voice messages. That was fun. It was just nice to hear her voice and just chat a little bit about random stuff. Yeah, that's kind of been my day. I'm feeling, again, more hopeful. Today's been, like, one of the better days I've had, actually, since the whole thing happened. There hasn't been any moments of sadness. Ooh, just got a little text. There hasn't been any moments of sadness, really. I haven't had a breakdown or anything, and there hasn't actually been any arguments either, which my mum joked about, and she said it's probably because your brother stayed in his room the whole day and hasn't really left his room. I don't mean, like, I'm not saying my brother's the only reason we argue, obviously, but, you know, it's just good. Some days like this are good, and it's great. Yeah, cool. I really hope that those of you who are watching these don't find the videos too boring and too depressing. Like I said, I'm just doing this more than anything for myself. I think I just want to have a little place to share my thoughts. I think it's good for me, and then maybe it might be good to look back on one day. Who knows? This is a weird time, so I'm just trying to document it in a very lazy way, just like a little chat. But like I said, if you want better content, my main channel, Sam Forgot, I'm doing some good stuff on there. Well, I think they're quite good anyway. Okay, see you tomorrow.